Ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. Yeah, we Ric Flairing on them niggas. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, they find to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry for spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant is with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, and you're back, and you're watching Off Script. Now, listen, let me... Hey, Blue, I just want to say you get on my damn nerves, man. I tried to find the most random ass picture of a coach ever. Like I literally put random football coach And the white dude, the pale white guy you see there, it's really a filler picture just to kind of get you thinking. And you know what Blue said? Why is Jimmy like, how does he know these people? Like, when I tell you Blue is different, bro, like Blue is so freaking different. I'm like, God, dog. Like, I literally tried to find the most random ass picture on Google. And he still names the guy. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, nobody's gonna know who this is because they ain't supposed to know. It's random. And of course, Blue, who is Jimmy Leaks? Oh my God, he shouldn't be I'm like, what the crap, man? But shout out to Blue, the boy wonder. It's just a random picture, Blue. It was just a random picture, bro. Oh my gosh, man. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, all right. So as you can see, man, Jackson State new OC. Hey, before I get into it, let's break it down. All right. And I'm gonna open the call lines up early just so you can get your opinion. So as of right now, TC Taylor is not the OC for Jackson State. I don't know if anybody. And hey, remember, tomorrow, Wednesday, 7:00, interview Dominique Rogers-Cromartie. All right. Dominique Rogers-Cromartie be in the building Wednesday. Make sure you tune into that and make sure you lock in. All right. So as of right now, let me open these call lines up. TC Taylor is not the offensive coordinator of Jackson State. Okay. So he's been fired. So has Michael Pollock. So has Jason Phillips. All them Bamas have been fired.
You are the only participant in the conference.
All these Bamas have been fired as being OC at Jackson State. Now, this is my issue, right? This is my issue. My issue is this. Who would want the job? Who would want the job? That's the whole point to me, right? Who would want the job? Like, what? Who would come on? Like, because you gotta think about it, it's twofold. Because I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, and I want you guys to really think about what I'm saying before I say it, right? Because this job kind of reminds me of a LeBron James situation, right? Because when this is your wide receiver room, right? If this is your wide receiver room, you got Shador, you really don't have a run game, you don't know what your offensive line is going to look like. The players and Dion are really never going to get blamed. It kind of reminds me of a LeBron James situation. It doesn't matter how bad LeBron is, right? It doesn't matter how bad LeBron is, you're always going to blame the supporting cast. And I think that's the type of situation you're walking into when you become a Jackson State OC, right? Because you don't know how much Dion wants his hand in it, right? How it wants it to look, how he wants the offense to look, how much he wants Shador to be involved. Because if I'm being honest, I really honestly believe if you want everything to go well for Shador, this has to be an air raid system. You have to run an air raid system. It doesn't make any sense for you not to run anything else. If you want all the things to line up for your son, for him to put up 4,000, 5,000 yards in a season with this wide receiver room, you have to go air raid, right? It has to be drop back. I'm throwing it 30, 40 times a game, and he has to lead me to victory. Now, the point that I want to build on is if it doesn't work, right? If you bring in a guy who runs the air raid system, if it doesn't work, who do you blame? Do you continue to blame the offensive coordinator? Do you blame okay, I don't know if you ever seen the movie man, what's the movie we saw? King Richard, right? I don't know if you first of all, like the stream. How many likes you got? Like the stream, okay? Like the stream. All right. If you haven't seen the movie King Richard, right? And call lines are open, 516-259-9041. Call lines are open. All right. If you haven't seen the movie King Richard, my thing is this. King Richard, he knew what was right for his girls, so he never really let a coach them thoroughly. You know what I'm saying? Like let them put their kind of finagle on it. So I think Deion's the same way with Shedeur. Like, you're not going to tell him what his son can and cannot do. You're not going to tell him you're not going to put Shedeur in a system that he doesn't think that Shedeur is comfortable running or will be able to run efficiently. But at the same time, are you going to allow an OC who has an air raid system to come in and run it as pleasure? Because if I'm being a whole buck, what Jason Phillips ran at U of H with Kevin Sumlin was not what he ran at Jackson State. They're not even on the same level. They're not even in the same category. You know what I'm saying? So the mere fact that if I wholeheartedly believe that Deion kind of reined in the playbook for this year for Shedeur, because it goes twofold. It's like, okay, if you get a new OC, how much does he require of the quarterback, and how much is he going to scheme up something, right? Those are my things, because I can show you clip after clip after clip of Shedeur being a pre-snap reader. Like, that's what he is. That's how he's taught. That's how he reads. Because if he's been taught by Tom Brady, that's what Tom Brady is. All right. That's literally, I mean, Tom Brady, they said it about the interview in the playoffs to him. He said when he walks up to the line of scrimmage, he knows where he's going with the ball before he snaps it. So he doesn't have to do all the progressions. And he said, I know where I'm going with the ball before I snap it. So for me, it goes back to this. How much of a quarterback or how much of an OC who comes in, how much is he going to expect from Shedeur to retain, to manage, to hold? And then how much is Deion going to get off the reins of, letting Shedeur or letting the OC run the offense he wants to run? And then how much is the offense coordinator gonna allow, to scheme and everything like that? We'll see. Let me take a caller. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
How much would it take for you to take this job?
How much would it take for me to take this job? If I believed in what are you being funny or being serious? Like serious?
I'm being dead serious.
Okay,
yeah. How much would it take?
If I wanted to take the job, you would have to pay me like 100K, 120. You know what I'm saying? I know you got it.
And would you ask Deion to let you do your thing?
Yeah, I would.
And to not be.
I would. The only thing I would ask Deion is what limitations do you think your son has? Like, what is he not strong in? Because once again, Deion is an NFL Hall of Famer. He has probably studied his son and all his progression and what he can do, what he can't do. Like, tell me where you think his weaknesses are, so I can build something around his strengths. You get what I'm saying? So you can't limit my offensive play calling. You can't limit my playbook, but I know what Shedeur can and can't do well, and where he likes to go with the ball, where he doesn't like to go with the ball, what he likes to see, what he doesn't like to see, things like that. And that's how you come up with a great offensive plan.
To be honest, Deion recruited. This recruiting cycle was made for Shedeur Sanders. They didn't even get a running back.
Absolutely.
This was made for Shedeur Sanders. Like what happened to TC Taylor? And then I'm gonna get off. Like, why is TC not come back?
It's kind of hard when your best game was against Alabama A&M, which has the worst defense, and you never produced that again. Like, it was never rolling that way ever again. The offense never looked that sharp, that crisp, that creative ever again. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, yo, it's no reason why we're not averaging 300 yards per game, 35 points per game. There's absolutely no reason why they should not have been averaging at least 30 points per game and averaging over 300 passing yards per game. There's no reason. And if that's the standard, which it should have been, you fire, like, because it hasn't been reached to the standard. But this is the part where you kind of sit back and you're like, how much is it on TC? And how much is it on Deion? Like, you don't know, because like I don't know if you know how play calling works, but the head coach usually approves. Like the reason everybody has headsets on is so you can hear the call over the headset, right? So if I'm an offensive coordinator and I say 9-10 HY Yankee sale, right? And Deion's like, no, we're gonna run the ball here. So then I gotta look at my play sheet and then I gotta pick a run that I think works. Or if I want to run the ball and I'm like, yo, 26 power smash, right? And then he's like, no, let's throw the ball right here. So then I got to look at my play sheet and I got to call a pass play. You know, like, so it's things like that all comes in a factor, and you don't know, once again, what Deion does not allow in the playbook, what he does allow. Because at the end of the day, like Coach Boone said, I have never seen an assistant head coach in the newspaper for winning and losing a game. Never seen it. You know what I'm saying? So it always falls back on Deion, so he has to take all the onus.
That's true. But TC was working with a subpar line. So you can only put the blame on TC so much. He didn't go out here and recruit these players, from what I know.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't blame him that much. But I appreciate you.
Hey, no, man. Appreciate the call, man. Hey, man, listen. Oh, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take that job, baby. You think I should take that? Nah, Jackson State, man. It's too crazy down there. Yeah, it's too crazy down there. They they'll run me out of town. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me. 7819, you live. Talk to me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna call back in on your show there off script during the season there. I'm the guy from Houston, Texas. I've been a Jackson State fan for 40 years.
Uh-huh.
And I was listening to the people calling in to you talking about Jackson State can blow out anybody. And I'm a number one Jackson fan. I've been a fan for 40 years. And if we were barely beating these teams in the SWAC, how in the world did they think that we could go out and beat other teams in other leagues? In order for us to be able to do that, we got to come in and show a true dominance in our own conference. We got to at least be stomping by 30 points from these other schools in our league to be able to compete. Now let's get back on Shedeur. I want to get on Shedeur. Now I have to say this. We got to put some of that in on the QB. I understand that the QB is the coach's son, but when I watch some of those games toward the end of the season, some of those things that when he got stuck, when that defense had the wide receivers and everybody covered up, sometimes you got to roll out. You got to make something happen like that, Dak Prescott. You got to do something got to come, or you got to take off. You can't hesitate. Sometimes I think he hesitated a little bit too long, and you can't be in that pocket too long. So I think he got to take some of it, but we got to be able to, in order to be able to be dominant in the SWAC, we got to be looking at 30 points difference playing in our own league in order to get outside our league and start, handling some of these other schools out there. But and I just have to say, I don't know if you agree with that or not, but just go back some of those tapes and you say, man, we're struggling here. We're struggling. We got all these big time receivers. We got slot receivers, but some of that stuff, I put it on the quarterback. We got to say it. You might not say it. You might not say it, you on the show, but I've been a fan for years, and I'm not going to, just because I'm a fan of a team, I'm not going to push it up under the rug.
No, I appreciate.
And that's what happened in that South Carolina game.
Okay, so let's stay with that, right? Let's stay on the South Carolina State game. Let me be I'm gonna be 100% weird with you. I picked South Carolina State because I just had a bad feeling. I didn't know. I had never watched film on South Carolina State all season. I can't even lie, but I'll tell you this: if I would have seen what I've seen now, because I've been watching MEAC games South Carolina State played, I would have picked them by 20. No lie, because, and this is the reason why. I know people are like, oh, it's hindsight 20, whatever, but I picked them anyway. Their D line, that boy Green, Jablowski, he was murking Bamas in the MEAC, and that D line and the offensive line and MEACs are way better. Like Norfolk State Norfolk State alone has a huge offensive line. He was murking them Bamas. I'm talking about dip ends, rip arounds, speed rushes. So if I would have seen that before, I would have like, it's easy pickings against Jackson State. It's easy pickings. You know what I'm saying? Because
and I posted on one of you guys that do these commentator things, link guys for the swag. I don't know which one. It's been a while now. I put on there the day before, and I'm a Jackson State fan. I called on your thing several times, let you know I'm that 40-year fan. But anyway, I put, because I didn't want to hurt my team, I put the day before, I said, this team means business. They looked at more physical than Jackson State. They was dialed in. They're not doing all of these cameras and these videos across the internet. Those guys looked at physically fit. So we need to get some strength conditioning coaches in there. I don't know if you agree with that. You can go back and look at it. When those guys did they walk around in that stadium, South Carolina came out, I said every last one of these guys look physically fit for the capacity of their side. And I'm going to let it go.
Hey, appreciate the call, though. Okay, so let me kind of recap everything he said, and I'm going to go into some questions that people see in the comments. All right, one, TC Taylor is not fired. All right, he had been demoted. All right, so fired, demoted. He is still on staff. All right, I don't believe Ashley Robinson would let him go anywhere. That's not happening. He is a Jackson State legend, so they're not going to kick him out the door. All right, he has been demoted like every other offensive coordinator in the building. All right, demoted. All right. Demoed. All right. Next, did TC call the game? No. TC Taylor did not call the championship game. They went back to an old offensive coordinator. He did not. I have it on good authority. Okay, I have it on good authority that he did not call the game for the for the championship game. That did not happen. Now, when the caller talked about Shedeur Sanders, listen. This is my issue when people want to give Shedeur too much credit, and this is my issue when I feel like they want to put too much blame on him, right? Because you can't boost him up when he's getting when he's doing what he did against Southern and he's doing what he did against Bethune and Alabama A&M. You can't say, "Oh, he's great, he's great, he's great, he's great," and then when he does bad, you're like, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad. There's a mixture, a blend that has to happen. One, if you're going to use the freshman excuse, keep it the whole year. Don't pick and choose when you want to call him a freshman. All right. My thing is this. I think over time, like teams understood what Jackson State was and what they weren't. All right. And once again, Jackson State wants to throw the ball. Jackson State wants to have Shedeur lead the charge. Running back is a luxury. Sorry, Tyson Alexander. Sorry, all the backups that you got. It's a running back by committee. The only reason that Peyton Pickett did what he did against PV is because PV kept dropping 8. I mean, goddamn, if you drop 9, it leaves 10 D linemen. I mean, at least 2 D linemen on the line. You better run the ball. All right, so they're dropping 8. They're dropping 7. They're not putting an extra man in the box. Like, you're supposed to run the ball. That's football 1-on-1. If you have 2 safeties up top, you run the ball. If there's 1 down, you pass the ball. That's how football works. It's a math game, all right? If you didn't know math, go back and study. So when you're dropping 8 in the box, dropping 8 in coverage because you want to stop the run, Peyton Pickett's supposed to get loose. All right, so that's what you're going to probably end up dealing with, and that's why you see teams nowadays loading up on defensive backs because they know going into next year they still need to generate pressure, but they have to have the defensive backs to hold up, and that's why you see a lot of teams going DBs. My thing with this, if I was an offensive coordinator, and this is what I said from the beginning of the season when I heard Jason Phillips got the job, I was like, yo, if you're going to run the air raid system, the best part of the air raid system is the mesh, right? Mesh. What is mesh? Okay, mesh is when you take either your slot receivers or your outside receivers, but mostly you take your 2 slot receivers, right? And they bold. They cross in the middle. It's called mesh routes, right? So when you're running man-to-man, you run mesh routes. When they run zone, you run mesh, but you hit the zones, you hit the windows behind it. It's a great concept. It's a staple in the air raid system. That's something I would have seen a lot more of, and I didn't see that. But once again, you don't know we don't know what we don't know, right? So we don't know how much Shador can retain. You know what I'm saying? People worship him as the greatest quarterback, the greatest freshman, all this blah, 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 70% completion rating. But you're like, how much can he handle? How much can he hold? How much can he retain? And how much is the offense on him? Well, next year, I'm going to tell you this. The offense is going to be completely on him. All right? Completely on him. It's going to live and die with Shador. It's going to live and die with Shador. It is what it is. And it's not to say he can't handle it, but god damn, when you have all these Bamas, you got Quay, Weidman, Hunter, Rucker, Kevin Coleman Jr. When you got all these Bamas and that might be your starting five, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, you supposed to throw. Am I supposed to be a running team? I ain't supposed to be a running team with 5 receivers that I went out and I got the -- 1 player in the country. Like, that ain't it. So my question to you, and I'm gonna throw it back to you guys: if the offense doesn't look Alabama A&M-ish, right? If it doesn't average 400 yards, 500 yards, 300 yards, if it doesn't average 330, 350, who do you blame again? Who do you go out and blame again? It's only so many people you can blame. There's only so many people you can blame. And that's why I feel as though this is a LeBron James situation at Jackson State. Like, you're never going to blame Deion because Deion's the one getting the groceries. You're not going to blame him. He's the one getting the groceries. He's the one making you relevant. He's the one getting you all this fanfare. So you ain't going to blame him. So you're going to have to keep blaming the OC. You have to keep blaming the OC. And then then that guy gonna get demoted, then another guy gonna come in, then that guy gonna get it doesn't, to me, it's like you gotta stick with something. And the problem I have with letting TC Taylor go is TC Taylor has a resume. Jason Phillips has a resume. These Bamas were not scrubs. Explain to me how you're successful enough in the MEAC, you win MEAC championships, you know what I'm saying? You calling great offensive play calling, and then you get to Jackson State and it's like you forgot. I kept trying to tell y'all when TC Taylor first got on, I said TC Taylor is used to having a mobile quarterback. That's what TC Taylor is used to. So how Dooley runs his offense is the same way TC Taylor runs his offense. He needs a mobile guy. Devontae Kincaid, deadly accurate, deadly with an arm, but he was hella mobile as well. Shador is not that guy. All right. So to be that in TC Taylor's offense does not help him. Right. So now I'm reshaping my whole offense to fit your son. And that's not, I mean, yes, great offensive play callers can fight through that, but you usually want to go to a situation that fits. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go into a situation where, that's why a lot of offensive coordinators, when they go into a situation with a mobile quarterback that doesn't fit their scheme, what do? They draft a quarterback. They go get a guy that used to run their system because they don't want to change. They don't want to mold and change from what they do because it had been successful. I've been successful doing it this way. And if you go back and watch anything of TC Taylor, everything he's been doing from when he started at North Carolina A&T has been RPO. The whole system is RPO. And if you had a quarterback that could run the RPO, I promise you it would have got real ugly at Jackson State. And that's real. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
Talk to me.
Hey, this is Calvin calling from Mississippi. So is Phillips and Pollock both on the staff still, or they gone?
Pollock is still there. If I'm Jason Phillips, I'm getting up out of there. Because what am I really doing? What am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and Jason Phillips has a resume to go do something else. You know what I'm saying? Oh, North Central. I'm sorry, North Central. Thank you so much, TC Taylor's North Central. But yeah. So I wouldn't. If I'm Jason Phillips, why? Why am I there? What for? What?
I'm agreeing with you because after Jack State, I don't know. He's getting paid coordinator money. I don't know how much that is. Let's just throw out a number, say 150. And he paying the coordinator money to coach receivers. I mean, and he could. Theoretically, not theoretically, it's facts. He could get paid $400,000 to coach receivers at Tulane or something like that, or you know what I'm saying, or Memphis, or some other ho-hum school just coach receivers. He didn't come to Jack State to coach receivers. He came to Jack State to be a coordinator to further build his resume, just to be honest. To potentially get, I mean, nobody, I think he wants to have aspirations to be some other type of coach. But they still on the staff, though. It's not official. But my question is, this question. I get Phillips, I get TC, I get Pollock, but why is offensive line coach? Why does he still have a job?
Man, listen, he would have been gone.
Does he have pictures of Deion?
Oh my God,
pictures of Deion in a blackface or something?
I don't know, but he would have been fired. If you demoting offensive coordinators, you got to start at the offensive line coach. How is he still got a job?
Now I am gonna bring something back though. Like, you know, the offensive line coach is a problem. Offensive line was a problem. The offensive line coach, yeah. But as a coordinator, okay, you know, offensive line is trash. You know, there's not much time to throw the ball, so you got to kind of scheme that up. Okay, I got set amount of time to get. You know what I'm saying? These got to be quick. One Mississippi, bam, ball got to be out of his hands. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be quick, fast. It can't be we're gonna drop back and do a 3-5 step drop. No, you know, offensive line's not got time for that. You know what I'm saying?
No, see, and
the routes got to be
okay. So
the routes got to be short. He can't be running. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is where I have to disagree with you. I kind of agree with that. I kind of disagree, right? So everything was out the shotgun, so they weren't doing 3-step drops, right? So really, what you mean is catch and throw out the shotgun. It's catch and throw. But this is my thing, though. They weren't cutting. That usually when you so if I do a quick game slants or whatever to make sure. And I mean, you're definitely gonna have to do it now going forward in the new year, because now you got all these 6'6", 6'7", offensive linemen. You're gonna have some 6'5", 6'6" DNs because of the transfer portal. You're getting more measurable guys. You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to cut. That's the whole to keep the D-line's hand down to make the throw easy for your quarterback. You're supposed to cut. It's supposed to be like a 1-2 drop back.
Chop block.
Yeah, chop block. Well, not really a chop block, but you draw them in and then you cut block them so you have an easier throw. And I ain't seen it once. I ain't seen them do that.
I didn't see it either.
Time all season.
How many offensive line, you getting a lot of penetration. How many middle screens or screens did you see in general this whole year?
Never. I ain't see any. I saw, and that's the thing, like, if you're coming in as an offensive coordinator, my number one job is just to get the ball out of Shedeur hands and make plays. Like, listen, bro, we got too many players to just have you hold back and sit back and hold the ball. It should literally, if you watch the 49ers game, how the 49ers use Debo Samuel is the same. It's the same way you should use Kevin Coleman Jr. It's the same way you should have used Warren Newman. I mean, you should have just had them all over the field. That's creativity, and that's what they lacked.
Hey, see, this one thing that irritates me. Why don't they line up, and shift out of formation? Put Warren Newman in the backfield as a running back and then shift out. Emotion now, because then you got to match up on the linebacker or the third, fourth best corner. That's a matchup problem. Football is all matchups. You can be open at it. If you get the right matchup, that's where you go with the ball.
And once
so put Warren Newman or put somebody in the back, put one of your fast receivers in the backfield, motion them out, bam. So you got a matchup. He's probably gonna be matched up on the linebacker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's all a part of just seeing. You gotta, like, my coach in high school used to always say, like, you gotta see it to imagine it, right? If you can't see it, you can't imagine it. So, I don't think, once again, you don't know how far, like, you don't know if TC Taylor was like, because when I watched this stuff at North Central, like, it was creative. You know what I'm saying? Like, I showed a play concept that he actually ran against Alabama A&M against North Central. I was like, yo, this is the stuff that TC Taylor does. He ran the same concept. Ask me if you saw that concept ever again. You didn't. You know what, though? TC worked closely with Jerry Mack. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's something I don't know. We don't know. How closely is Deion putting the reins on the offense? I don't know. I mean, he could be tight on it. Shedeur could have free reign and could audible out of anything. We don't know. But yeah.
I agree with you. I haven't seen the formation off rip. We haven't seen him come into that alignment. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I ain't about to hold a call line up. I know you probably got 300 callers. But once again, I'm calling in and say that Alcorn's trash, Southern suck, and FAMU come up here on the fall.
All right, appreciate it, Mr. Cal. Listen, man, it's not. You guys, nobody's saying this. See, this is the problem I have, right? So you got like Boo, the Boosie dude. Everybody's experts. No, nobody's saying they're an expert, but it's just simple. It's not hard. That's what I'm saying. Like, with it's different when you don't have the talent and you try to make it work. That's hard. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have a guy that can beat a guy one-on-one and you have to scheme something up, you have to literally, motion and have eye adjust. You have to make something eye candy to get what you want to come available to you. That's hard because you can't like usually it's not a really good OC that can just keep scheming. But what you do is we call them setup plays, right? I run the power smash. And then after the next time I run it, I bootleg off of it. You know what I'm saying? I show you that again. I do something off of it again. You know what I'm saying? That's called scheming, right? I throw a bubble screen. I get 3 yards. Well, I'm going to show you the same play. I pump it. Now I got the go route on the outside. That's called scheming. All right. You set it up to get one. That's how. It's not hard. It's just creative. You got to think about it. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hello?
Yeah, you live. Talk to me.
Yeah, hey, Scotty.
What's up? Talk to me.
Appreciate your show, but I just want to get an input on what's the topic. Do you think that as far as like offensive coordinator, whether they're coming from the NFL or college, do you think like the relationship between Deion and his son is the quarterback that affects the offensive coordinator really want to run what they really want to run instead of like Deion telling them that making more about his son and showing the numbers and the stats for his son so like he can praise about it?
Listen, bro, I got to keep it a buck. If my son was as talented as Shador, I would want my son to get the spotlight. I can't even knock him as a dad. I have a son. If my son was as good as Shador and I knew he could be great, I would want the focal point to be on him. Like, come on, man. Like, first of all, you're Deion Sanders, you're an NFL Hall of Famer. Your son is a black quarterback, which was highly touted. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no scrub. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between, Archie Manning wanted his grandson to be great? Ain't no different. You know what I'm saying? No, Peyton Manning wanted his nephew to be great. Ain't no different. You know what I'm saying? And they put him in a school that was going to make sure that he got all the attention. So it's nothing wrong with what he's doing. And he's winning on top of that. So you can't blame him. It's just that when it don't work, that's the first thing people are going to point to is that, hey, it's your dad, it's you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an easy like haha moment because it's like you set it up that way, it fell that way, and if it doesn't work all the way, it's like damn, like it is what it is.
Right. And also what I wanted to say is that during the Jackson State games, right, I noticed that Deion really doesn't coach like his son. Meaning, like, before every game, he will have a talk, and like during the game, he will have a talk. But like, if let's say if it was a different quarterback, and it's like their relationship is not there, meaning like a father and a son, he will scream and let them know like you're doing wrong. But during the game when they play on South Carolina State, I ain't see nothing that Deion like was coaching his son, like talk to him instead of like. Always playing a role.
Let me ask you this. Where would you have seen where Deion was coaching? I'm just asking you a question. Where would you have seen that? On what video?
You said where would I have seen it?
Yeah, where would you have seen Deion yelling at his son? Where would you have seen it?
No, I mean, I think he'll do that to every other player.
Answer the question. Where would you have seen it? Like what video? What video? What YouTube channel? What TV station? What channel would you have seen him yelling at his son if he was, or yelling at any player? Where would you have seen that?
None.
So how can you say it? If you where
No,
go ahead.
like not to cut you off. Sorry, bro.
No,
Not
you're
to
fine.
cut you off. Like back in the fall, I forgot who was the quarterback. Jalen Smith.
Jalen Jones.
Okay, I'm sorry, Jalen Jones. Sorry about that. When Jalen Jones was quarterback and he was messing up, you can see the frustration in his face, in his eyes, and you can see the expression he was showing towards Jalen Jones. He doesn't show the same thing when his son making mistakes. What he rather do is like he's always playing the father role. I mean, that's understandable.
Hold on. Let me stop. I'm gonna rock with you, right? So let's you got to break it down to the minute detail, right? Is Jalen Jones his son? No. Does he care about an image that he's portraying to Jalen Jones? No. Did he think Jalen Jones was going to be his starting quarterback? No. Right. So that's neither here nor there. So and one, you didn't see, you saw the frustration, but you didn't see him yelling at Jalen Jones because Jalen Jones's family they didn't sign off on the agreement to have him shown on the tape. Or so you didn't. So you saw what you saw, but you didn't see it. You didn't actually see it. You saw frustration, but you didn't actually see it because once again, they didn't sign off in the consent form of him being on the show. So going forward, now you have the pregame show, right? So who do they answer to? Who do they answer to?
Deion.
So do you think they're going to show a snippet or clip of Deion Sanders yelling at Shedeur Sanders on I'll call them on a national, because Deion's national. So do you think they're going to put that on? Right. You think they're going to put that on Front Street? Like, I don't believe they will.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? So, and CFL is right. There's more videos of him yelling at him at in high school on the overtime series. If you want to see him yell, he yells at him. Man, listen, he yelled at Shedeur so bad in one game. I was like, damn, I feel bad for Shedeur. I was like, damn, you ain't got to come that hard on him, man. Like, no bull crap. Like, he was demeaning. I was like, damn, that's tough. So I'm not saying that it won't happen. I'm definitely not saying it won't happen, but you probably won't see it because it doesn't matter if he's like, it doesn't matter what me and you say about it. It all depends on what how Shedeur takes it, and then how the team looks at it. If the team thinks it's fair the way he treats Shedeur compared to everybody else, then it's fine. If the team doesn't feel it's fair, then that's where he needs to answer to.
Thanks.
Hey, appreciate the call, man. Man, listen. If you haven't seen. Listen, there's a lot of stuff I can co-sign and can't co-sign, but the way he was yelling at that Bama at that game, I was like, man, I would not want to play for that dude. That dude was yelling, man, whew, that was crazy. Hey, caller, you live, talk to me. At that game, I was like, man,
got it.
Hey, yeah, turn your background down.
Man, whew, that was crazy. Yeah, Scotty.
Talk to me.
This is David Johnson. And in terms of a running back, Jackson State got a running back.
Who's that?
It's Donovan Hunt.
Donovan Hunt. Okay.
You never saw the highlight on him?
I've seen his highlights.
Okay, check that highlight out.
He wears number 40 on the practice squad.
He didn't play. He didn't play during the season.
I know, but on the roster, I think he wears number 40, right? In the practice squad.
I think so.
Okay, so yeah, I've seen his clips. He's from Wisconsin or Wyoming.
Yeah, the boy is nice. Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you my opinion on him. I've watched his highlight. He's a track guy. So he has top speed. He's tough in between the tackles. Like for me, watching his huddle, it was a lot of white boys on there. I ain't trying to be disrespectful. Like it was a lot of white boys on his huddle tape. So I'm like, I don't know. He just outrunning a lot of white boys. But watching as I continue to watch him, he has a lot of top speed. If he gets around the corner and nobody's in front of him, he will run past an angle. But it's the in between the tackles for me, like the vision. I gotta see more. I gotta see if he has better vision, like just like cutting wise and jump cuts, and if he does a zone replay, can he see that backside cut, things like that. So I'm excited to see him going forward. I'm still on the Tyson Alexander bandwagon. think Tyson at this point, in my opinion, right now, I think Tyson Alexander is the best running back on the team, in my personal opinion, because I've seen him boom bop somebody in the hole and get out. I haven't seen that with Hunt, so we'll see. But once again, the thing about it is he going to have the opportunities? See, that's the key. You can have Adrian Peterson in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't get because running backs get better with more carries. They don't get better with 2 carries, 4 carries, 6 carries. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that to me is where I think that a running back is going to be hindered by being at Jackson State. You see, like this is how I think, you know, for Donovan Hunt to be successful at Jackson State, you probably need about 10 carries and about 5 catches out the backfield, just so you have the touches. You know what I'm saying? Like, because running backs need touches. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's not a Saquon Barkley where he needs 2 touches, and then one of them go for 80 yards. You know what I'm saying? Which is possible, but it's not going to happen all the time. So is Jackson State going to commit to running the ball? Is Jackson State going to commit to, you know, getting him touches? That's the thing I would worry about being a running back going to Jackson State.
Okay. Well, I hope they get a young man a shot, because the tape that I've seen, I mean, he's nice. So hopefully you get a shot.
Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate the call.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that he inboxed me his practice film if I can find it. I said, no, I seen it. See, I seen it. Running backs need to get him in rhythm. Can't be too hard for a freshman. This is this is my thing, right? If you go, I know I'm making noises. If you go air raid, if I'm a running back at Jackson State, I gotta go. I got to go. It doesn't. You're not going. I'm not going to be a focal point. I'm not going to be a focal point. That's the most. That's probably going to be the most. And honestly, if it was ran right and you were a running back, it will probably be the easiest job of your life. It would probably be the easiest job of your life if they ran it right, if they were balanced. If they were balanced and they could get a running back to 150 a game and have Shador throw for 270, 280 a game, it would be the easiest time of their life, because people are going to be so focused on stopping the pass that you can't load the box. You just couldn't. It wouldn't make sense, because now you're putting people one-on-one islands against, you know what I'm saying, against one-on-one DBs, and you think your guy's just better. You know what I'm saying? So it would help a lot. But what? John, you got to be listen, your mama had to be smoking something when she had you. That's why she named you John, because that had to be the dumbest statement. Half of the Alabama teams were built off running games. What are you talking? Shut your dumb ass up. Y'all Bamas need to stay out my comments, because y'all act like y'all know football and y'all don't. You don't. Stop it. What are we talking about? That makes no sense, my boy. Shut your dumb ass up. What? Oh my, man, you threw me all off. What? Shut up. Man, shut up. God, oh my God, boy, you smoke, man. I don't know what, boy, you on something strong. Get off of it. Whatever you on, get off of it. Ooh, Jesus. That was just dumb. Yeah, it said Domas. Dumbass. Like, bro. Come on, man. Stop it, bro. Like, yeah, fire that Bama up. Fire that Bama up. Because that's the stuff I gotta deal with. That. And he said it when he was typing. He was like, good focal point. Like, bro, no, stop, bro. Listen. So people said Oregon. Somebody said Oregon, right? Oregon. First of all, Oregon wasn't an air raid scheme, right? It wasn't an air raid scheme. That's not what that was. Hey, shout out to Angie Body for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Let me get this caller. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's up, bro? This is Jabbar from Jackson.
Talk to me.
All right. So my thing is with the offensive coordinator thing is how much Deion lets the coordinator call the offense, like their actual scheme opposed to his scheme. And then I think another problem they have is pace and momentum. What do you think about that?
I like the pace and momentum. I mean, the first part you said is something I've said numerous of times. Just the fact of you don't know how far you're going to let the offensive coordinator take the playbook, and you don't know how much you're limited, how much is getting limited by the head coach. Now, the pace of play, I think they should have won a lot of no huddle. Like I feel as though an up-tempo style offense really feeds into what Shedeur should do well. Because he's a pre-snap guy, I do up-tempo style offense. You got to show it. You got to, because you can't, when you go up-tempo, defenses don't like to change in between up-tempos because they don't want miscommunication, right? So what happens is they usually go base. Yeah. They usually go base. So when you go up-tempo, let's say you catch them in the cover 2, you beat them in the cover 2, the next thing they're going to do, they're going to go base. Like they're going to go to something that everybody knows, everybody feels comfortable, and they're going to go base. So, and then you give more time for Shedeur to read the defense. He can send people in motion to read it. I abso-freaking-lutely love it. Abso-freaking-love it. I think them going up-tempo was going to be is awesome.
What I was trying to say, they don't have to be the old school Oregon. They don't have to be Baylor from the past. It just has to be more like you get a first down. It's too much of Shedeur sitting there getting a check from me. Tony Gray coming up out his stance. I'm a former O-lineman. Mm-hmm. So when the O-lineman comes out his stance, you're really slowing down the process to begin with. And then to speak on bad O-line play, if you match the gas, you catch defensive lineman tired, running down the field, you get outside. It's so much that tempo would have helped them with. And then, like you said, creativity was trash. It was so much you could have done with Warren Newman as far as jet sweeps, reverses, send them in motion, then send them back the other way, throw them a swing pass, them get it like that. It was so much you missed. And then I think I don't know. It's too Shedeur centric for me because it's sitting back, let my son look like Tom Brady. You don't always have to be Tom Brady. Sometimes just you gotta let everybody else shine. That's what you gotta let you bring in the Travis Hunter or whatever the dude's name is. Why would I want to come to you? You're not gonna let me shine. It's all about your son. Let me shine too. You know what I'm saying?
I think if you're a receiver, that it really Shedeur. Listen, okay, Shedeur's always gonna outshine because of his name. Now, if he plays great, that helps. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he's a Sanders, right? Well, Travis Hunter, his brand, his football brand is bigger than Shedeur. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he has that going for him. You know, Quay Davis, Malachi Wideman, Trevante Rucker, Kevin Coleman Jr. Like, if these guys ball out, their football brands could be bigger than, you know what I'm saying, than Shedeur. Shedeur as a whole, as a brand, you probably won't be bigger than him because he's a Sanders. But football-wise, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could outbrand, like some kids could outbrand them just based off football.
Yeah, I'm not even speaking on brand. I'm talking about on the actual field. It's too much. Oh, Shedeur did this and Shedeur did that.
Well, he's the quarterback. He's the quarterback.
I'm not going to pile on.
He's the quarterback. But like, it starts with him.
He's the quarterback, but for example, with the Rucker kid, right? He more of a jump ball, go get it type of guy. It wasn't enough of that for him, or it wasn't enough of that for Malachi Wideman. It was too much of Shedeur's. He's dotting them up. He's doing his Tom Brady, taking 10 yards, 5 yards. It wasn't. You know what? What I'm trying to say is the offense wasn't schemed well for me. It wasn't schemed well enough for the amount of talent you have. It was schemed for maybe like a Chief Corbin. And maybe like Lanier just cut through instead of you didn't have enough deep ball schemed up. You didn't have enough stuff for why you have so much talent coming in and leaving that it wasn't schemed up enough for everybody. It wasn't creative enough. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Hey, appreciate the call, man. Listen, I would say this. I think the indictment of the offense is seeing Joshua Lanier win the MVP offense at the Tropical Bowl. Right? With a 75-yard touchdown. That means that Bama can move. All right. I don't know. I mean, this is an all-star game. So I'm not saying these Bama's are scrubs. You know what I'm saying? So they pretty legit. And the mere fact that he did what he did in the all-star game and he couldn't do what he did against the SWAC kind of shows me that you didn't use him right. You know what I'm saying? Just something like that. That kind of, you know, made me look sideways. Hey, caller, you loud, talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's your name? Where you come from? What's your name? Where you come from?
This is Vic, man, from Jackson.
All right.
Hey, listen, so you think Dion's calling those plays? Listen, Dion got to get him an offensive coordinator, man. And first of all, you got to develop your son. You got to develop these wide receivers that you got who chose Jackson State over these D1 schools. You got to put a complete program. You got to show the Power 5 or the PWI that you can put together a team and a staff. So yeah, he got to clean up some of the mess that's obvious when we watch television. So he got to put a complete team like Ed Ogeron down at LSU, man. So he has to put a complete product, and the running game has to be implemented in some kind of way.
I mean,
so that's all I got.
I think I agree. It has to be implemented. I don't think you just got to do it to keep people. I think honestly, listen, bro. Like Jackson State's going to do it like this. They're going to drink water just because they have to. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just drink water. They be like, you know what? You know, just because you told me to. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's going to be their running game. Their running game is just going to be just because you told me to. Like I got to run just because I got to. You know what I'm saying? It's just they really want to throw I think they really just want to throw the ball around because nowadays, honestly, you can use passing game as a extension of the run game. You really can.
I got you on that, but if Dion got plans or expectations to move up, he got to show that he can put a complete staff together because this mediocre play, they just been good enough for the SWAC.
That's fair. I'll give you that. No, that's fair.
It's just good enough for the SWAC, and if you want to step to the next level, you're gonna have to use these number one recruits you got, and these top players gonna have to, they got to be developed. So you got to bring in, staff that can develop these guys as well as your son. Your son got to shine.
Hey,
so that's what I think. And and I don't know about the offensive line because you probably got, they got to upgrade that as well because, you watching this stuff on national TV and people saying, hey, he can't correct that. That's.
But it's once again, and I appreciate the call, and I'm gonna answer it offline. Hey, this is the thing. He says he can't correct it. Who says he's allowed to? That's one guys. Listen to what I'm telling you. All right, and Deputy Mario, I'm gonna get to you. Listen to what I'm saying. That's the whole thing, right? You don't know what we don't know. We don't know how much TC Taylor was allowed to do adjustments or be creative or do things like that's the thing. Like you can say TC Taylor was boring or whatever, but it's like, bro, how much freedom was he given? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a kid. It's like a kid with their parent, right? How much are you exposed to, right? You know what I'm saying? A kid can be like, oh, I ain't never seen the movie Color Purple. And you be like, you've never seen the movie Color Purple? Well, if his mama didn't show it to him, he didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's exposure or what is allowed to happen in your house. And we don't know what Dion is allowing in his house. You know what I'm saying? Is he allowing that? Is he allowing this? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he has to think about it. Is it going to affect my son? How will this affect my son? Can my son do this? And at the end of the day, like King Richard, I know my girls. He's going to say, I know my son well enough to know he can or cannot do that.
Son do this, and at the end of the day,
hey, Deputy Mario, you live.
He's going to say, I know my son well enough to know he can or cannot do that.
Deputy Mario, you live. Yeah, what's good? Talk to me.
Yeah, my bad. Hey, I'm going to give you a name that you would probably remember. And if Mr. Ford online, I know Mr. Ford remember. A guy named Ernest Wilson. Ernest Wilson was Casey Terrio's offensive coordinator. And if you remember when Casey Terrio was at Jackson State, how many points they were putting up per game. Someone like Ernest Wilson would be very attractive back in Jackson. Would you agree?
I know nothing about him, so you gonna have to speak on him on his behalf.
Well, when Casey Terrio was here, they was putting up 45 plus 35.
Oh, the white
45
tiger.
plus.
Oh, the white tiger. Okay,
There
okay.
you go.
Yeah.
He
Go
was
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Offensive coordinator those times. And so if you can get someone like that back in Jackson, someone like that close to it, with Shador, with the receivers, I think they will be dynamic. And then, Scotty, also, too, I'm giving you permission to go in everybody's house and remove Madden out of their homes because you can't compare these real kids or real players to Madden standards. These are live, breathing humans.
That's
so
real. I'll give you that. That's facts.
play Madden, it's not working.
That's facts. I like that, W. I respect that's facts. That's big facts. Now let me say with the white tiger situation, right? This is the thing where you got to think about when quarterbacks, former quarterbacks come back and be offensive coordinators, right? Can you coach? Like it's the problem with great players, right? A lot of great players don't ever come back and coach because they said, their expectations, something that they feel should be normal is hard for another kid. You know what I'm saying? You can't roll out left and throw it back. You know what I'm saying? You can't roll out left and throw it 20 yards back the other way. He gonna be like, no, coach, I can't. It's just something that's not normal for him. So it's expecting greatness from players that you don't know if they can really do what you're asking them to do. So coaching and knowing how to play call are two different things as well. So can you coach it up? Can you tell a player, you know what I'm saying? Okay, like if I was the offensive coordinator, if I'm the wide receiver coach, if you got a 3-yard slant, well, you're supposed to have your outside foot up, 1, 2, you can take that slant, or if you have your inside foot up, it goes 1, 2, 3 on that outside plant you coming in. That should be 5 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you have to break it down to kids when you're becoming an offensive coordinator and doing things like that. So if you want to do a speed slant, you have your outside foot up, you go 1, 2, boom, you hitting it right cross. If you're doing a 4-yard, 5-yard slant, you have your inside foot up, 1, 2, 3 should take you to about 5 yards, 4 to 5 yards, and you're coming across. That's the breakdowns you have to do and stuff like that when you're coaching.
Absolutely. Here's another thing too, Scotty. When Ernest Wilson was there, he had a lot of talent around him. He ended up leaving Jackson State under Coach Comedy and going to Hampton. He didn't have the type of talent at Hampton, so he couldn't win at Hampton. And so he moved around, and I don't know where Ernest Wilson is now, but he gave Casey a handful of plays and let Casey go out there and read the defense and call his own plays.
Got you. Hey,
I think that'll work beautiful for Shador. Give him 5 plays on his wristband and let him make a decision on what he see fit for the offense.
Hey, that could be a good step. That could be a stepping stone. Hey, appreciate the call.
Yes, sir.
All right. I like that. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's good? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, this is Antonio calling from Mississippi. So, man, here's my thing. I know a lot of people are talking about like the offense and the offense being creative, but for your offense to really be creative, you've got to have the offensive line to actually support that. Because a lot of offenses, if you don't have good run blocking, most offenses going to go to passing the ball. If they can't pass protect, a lot of offenses are going to run the ball more than they pass. So they got to have their own line right up front before they can really start doing anything else.
Okay, so let me agree to disagree with you, right? So when you're talking about O-line, yes, if if your guy can't block one-on-one, man-on-man, 10 plays back-to-back, because let's be honest, Shador wasn't getting sacked every single play. That wasn't real. That's not realistic. No. That wasn't happening. So this is where creativity comes into play, right? We had a smaller O-line when I was in high school. We didn't have a big O-line, and we ran spread, but what my coach would do, he would consistently move the pocket every now and again. He would only do so many dropbacks straight back. Because what happens is that you start those D ends and D linemen start, pinning their ears back we're dropping back. You're dropping back. And we are pass first team. He would roll the pocket out. Make it easier, move the platform, as they call it, move the throwing platform. Right. So those things, did you ever see that happen? Did you ever see Shador roll out right and throw with the pocket moving with them rolling? You never saw it. You know what I'm saying?
No. And that's one of the things too, though, because he wants to be a pocket passer first, but at the same time, he's got to utilize everything he's got. And a lot of that comes with him being so young and inexperienced too.
Yeah. So, it goes, I think, once again, nobody, and I've heard this from different, different OCs that I've talked to around the SWAC. They were all 100% say nobody's pocket presence is as good as Shedeur Sanders. His pocket presence is legit. So let's not take anything away from him. But you're asking him to be a A++ pocket passer every single down, and that you're not making it easy for him every now and again. You're not making easy throws to where he just rolls out right, that flood style concept, and boom, you hit Warren Newman. Or you do a screenplay, you invite them in and then do a screenplay behind them. You do a shovel pass. Like you're not helping Shedeur by just trying to make the defense think. And once you make a defense think, that's where you win.
Well, that's where the run game comes in, because like I was in North Dakota State from 2011 to 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for 3 years before I went to the military on the O-line. The thing that opens up the passing game a lot is the running game.
Facts.
If you can successfully run the ball, you're gonna open up the passing game a lot, because they won't know what they expect.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, they expect them to pass the ball every single down, and the running game just really isn't strong enough. Plus, like from last season, the offense really didn't show up until the third quarter, and that is what hurt them in most of the games.
That's fair, and I think I'll say this: I agree with you, but I'm gonna counteract your point just a little bit. I think being able to run the ball efficiently, you don't have to be great at it, but you got to be able to get some yards, and I think that was the big issue with Jackson State when they ran the ball. They couldn't even get 3 yards. Like it was just so bad. They would get stopped, no loss, lost the game. That to me is where it made it a problem, because you weren't even.
It's all about the leverage.
You weren't even getting successful 2-3 yard runs. You know what I'm saying? Just to make it somewhat easier. So, but man, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Green, you live? Talk to me.
Let me turn my volume now. Hey, I'm gonna start off by saying ASU. Then, as far as the run game, I know you. I know you're saying they don't really care. I disagree with some of the people that think that Jackson State don't care about the run, because the simple fact is, because Dion talked about it before, he always felt like if you balance, your offense will be most successful when it's balanced. And their offense wasn't balanced. Because they, like you said, like you just told their last call, they wasn't even getting 2-3 yards a pop.
Mm-hmm.
So they were getting no yards at times. It was a few games they had success. And when they had success, they kept on messing with it when they had success. And it also opened up the passing game even more. But when they not running at all, that's when the offense was like slow to put up points, and they always put up points later on in the quarter. And all of a sudden, that's what I see. Excuse me. What you feel about that?
I think they're lying. I think Deion's lying. Okay, so if you have a successful run, like this is my thing, right? I don't believe, as long as Deion Sanders is there, that they're going to go out and recruit a top flight running back, because with a top flight running back, what are you going to expect them to do? Run the ball. Who takes the ball? Who takes the ball out the hand? Shedeur. So I don't think you can like you have
it. I disagree.
Okay, go ahead then.
I disagree, because number one, the running back they got from East Central, he was top rated JUCO running back. Tyson Alexander wasn't no slouch till he got injured. They're also looking at that running back, that 5-star running back for 2023. So you really can't say that they're not going to recruit a good running back. And if you ever paid attention to, I hate to go back to the high school. They was balanced in high school. His offense, and Deion was calling the plays, and the offense was balanced. So why you don't think they ain't no offense to be successful without a running game?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Not you ain't gonna win no championships without it. You can ask Mike Leach that.
That's not what you said. You say successful.
Well, I don't put it like that. That's how I'm. If you want to win championships, you got to have a running game.
Okay.
You got to.
So when Patrick Mahomes won the championship, they had a running game? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Oh, so you.
I just said don't worry,
they didn't have a running game.
I just said, did they?
So you saying they didn't have no running game?
I'm not saying they did. They run the ball? Were they a run first team?
They ran the ball.
Okay, everybody tries to run the ball.
They ran the ball.
Everybody tries to run the ball. It doesn't mean it's like that's your skill set. They don't. That's not what they're looking to do. They're not looking to run the ball. They're looking to pass.
They look at the pass, but they got a lot of yards with it too. They got a lot of yards running.
Anyway, this is my point. This is my point. This is where I'm wholeheartedly disagreeing with you. If you recruit a high level running back, that means you have to give the ball to your high level running back. That means that's less opportunities for your son to throw the ball around the yard. It's just it's not unless you putting up 60 points per game, you're not having a 200-yard runner and then a 300-yard passer. That's not what it looks like. So at some point, something's going to have to diminish. You're either going to have less carries for the running back. Bro, it's simple. It's simple play. Like you only get 70 plays, 60 to 80, 70 plays.
Hold on. So you say it's impossible to have 290 yards or 300 yards, 2 touchdowns with a 100-yard running back? You say that's 150 yards running.
Now this is what you're doing. Listen. This is what you're doing. This is what you're expecting to happen when you say that 2 touchdowns. That means Shador probably threw the ball 20 to 25 times, and his receivers probably had an average about let's say 3-5 catches, 75 yards a pop. So you're doing a lot of yak. That's a lot of yak yards. That's a lot of yards after the catch. That's a lot of long pass plays, or you taking a 5-yard route to 50, 60 yards. So you're not, what I'm saying is if you're trying to throw the ball 40 times, because that's really what an air raid system is, throwing the ball 30 to 40 times. You can't run the ball. You're not going to be able to run the ball 20 times and still get 100, 200 yards. It's rarely going to happen because running backs need a rhythm. They have to keep feeding the ball so they can find their hole, they can find the rhythm, they can find the space.
I
That's
disagree.
cool. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I disagree.
All right, appreciate the call. Like you can disagree, but it's only so much, bro. There's only so much you can happen. You can wholeheartedly disagree, and we can get you off the line. All right, it's just that simple. It's just that simple for me. It's simple math, bro. You're saying that means think about what you're saying. Think about what he's saying. That means every single game you're going to have a 150-yard rusher and you're going to have over a 300-yard passer. Like Alabama A&M's offense wasn't that every game. It wasn't. It rarely was, right? So you'll have Shador, I think out the season, Alabama A&M put up 500 yards 3 times. You know what I'm saying? And I think Gary Qualls went for over 100 yards 4 times running. And I think the other couple times it was like mixture between passing and running. He went over 100 yards. So it's just, but think about the points they're putting up. Once again, listen, bro. Think about the points you're putting up. You're putting up 60, 50, 60 points per game. That's the only way this happens. Because you need more possessions. That means you're scoring faster. Guys, it's simple math. It's simple math. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's up?
This is Big Mike, Jackson, Mississippi.
Talk to me, Big Mike.
Man, hope that you have a wonderful holiday and Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
Well, look, I was just calling on a couple of things. I'm not going to be long. As far as running the football effectively, I think that you made a valid point when you said that Jackson State only, could run for maybe 1 or 2 yards at a time, and that was true. And I think about Kansas City. You just brought that up about the Kansas City Chiefs. You take them or LSU Tigers when they won the national championship. They were pass first teams, but when they ran the football, they ran effectively.
Facts.
And also, when they did run the football, they didn't just turn around and run inside zone. I want you to tell me this. You take the games from Jackson State in their run game. How many run plays did they run their entire year? We know they ran inside zone. What else did they run?
I saw a toss sweep. I saw a toss sweep.
To make my point is, go back to the other caller that said that we have to be more creative in our offense.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so right, because if you're a defensive coordinator, it's not hard to prepare for our run game when you're only running inside zone, and maybe we may have run a toss sweep every now and then.
Yeah.
It's not hard to defend an inside zone game. Also, I think that if whoever that comes in to be the offensive coordinator, I think we're kind of in a pickle, because I think Deion committed to bringing his guys in that were in the NFL with him. But I truly believe that if you bring an offensive coordinator in, you need to let that guy bring his own staff in to develop the players how he wanted to be done to run his offense efficiently and effectively. But I'm gonna get off the phone and let you chime in on it.
Hey, appreciate it, Big Mike.
All right.
All right, man. All right, so that's, once again, it's creative, being creative. All right. What's your take on Kansas City Chiefs offensive style in Jackson, Mississippi? You got to be able to be that creative. Like, you can't say that style. That style is creativity. That style has two of the greatest, I don't want to say greatest, has one of the greatest offensive minds in National Football League. Plus, you have Eric Bieniemy. Andy Reid is a great offensive coordinator. Eric Bieniemy is a great young offensive coordinator. So you have two of the most creative minds in NFL. And you talk about, what is that style? No, that style needs great. That style needs great coaching. All right, Bama's just don't come up with that scheme. And then you need a great, I don't want to say great, but you need a damn good quarterback to make it all work. All right. And this, somebody just texted me this. It said Aqeel Glass averaged 1 touchdown every 11 and a half passing attempts. Okay, so think about that. That means he had to throw the ball 45 to 46 times to get 4 touchdowns. That's 44 plays, 45 plays. That means you only leave about 15 to 16 other plays for the running back to get loose as well. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, you get my point? So it's stuff like that. You need they have the horses. Oh, Schnelly. They have the horses. All right. That is woo. All right. All right. They got the horses. It's, do you have the creativity to make it work? All right. Do you have the creativity to make it work? Did you see any whip routes? I barely saw any option routes. I saw a lot of digs. I saw a lot of in-breaking cutting routes. I saw a lot of that. But did I see the sail routes? Did I see the post-corner routes? I ain't see no post-corner routes. But once again, if you don't trust your offensive lineman to hold up, you know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Scotty? It's Victor from Maryland, man.
Talk to me.
So, what's up, man? It's a long time, but so I just want to give you a couple of candidates just to keep an eye on. So, my bold prediction is Jackson State is going to hire this quarterback coach. He coached at Florida last year, Garrett McGee.
Okay.
I think he has a relationship with Deion because he was at the camp in the summer, and he doesn't have a job right now. So, I'll be on the lookout for him.
Okay, I like that. Any other names? I like that.
So it's really, I would say he might bring somebody like from the NFL that's in like a quality control position, but I think someone from the NFL would try to run the ball, be very run heavy. And like you said before, I think Deion wants Shedeur to shine, so he's going to bring in somebody that's like very pass heavy. So I could see someone from that area, Mike Leachtree, but I think he's going to go for someone like Garrett McGee someone that's a veteran and doesn't have a current job, so you don't have to buy him out.
That's fair. I don't think Jackson State got that kind of money to be buying Bama's out of contracts in the NFL. But I agree with you. I think getting somebody from the Mike Leach air raid style, I think that's probably his best bet, if I'm being honest, because I know you want to have the ball in Shador's hand. You got all these weapons at receiver. You're either going to find somebody from the air raid system or that West Coast style system. And I would definitely go, man, listen, if I can get somebody who has been under Mike Leach for at least about 4 or 5 years, that works for me. I'll take that. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Hey, Vic, appreciate the call, man.
All right.
All right, well. I think that's what y'all need to start doing is pondering who would want to take this offensive coordinator position. I want to see Ahmad Haston get some PT next year. He has some wheels. Ooh, Art Browse. I'll take Art Browse. I would definitely take Art Browse. I would. I like Art Browse. I think Art Browse would be tremendous for Shador. Real talk. I think Art Browse would be a godsend to Shador because he's going to listen to him because he got RG3 to the league. So he's going to be all ears. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Who else would I take? I would take somebody from Hire Me. Hey, listen, Ty's the one. When you see that, when y'all saw me with the A&M sweatshirt, this is the young lady who made it for me. So if you guys are looking for that, if you guys are still interested in that sweater, make sure you guys hit her up and get her information so you can go get you one. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Yo, what up, Scotty, man? I want to start it by saying third generation JSU, but I don't want to call in and be negative. I want to call in and give you praise, man, because we really need to look at player development. Player development, offensive coordination, development, then we have something big. So Jackson State and a lot of other HBCUs need to tune into this show and get good guidance, man. That's all I had to say.
Hey, appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, you heard him. You heard what he said. You better tune in, get you some guidance, okay? Get you some guidance. Because I've had a couple coaches. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. Real talk, no bullshit. Like, no bullshit. I've had a coach text me and say, damn, Scotty, like you said some of the game plan of what we was going to do against Jackson State. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I've had that happen a couple times. So, it is what it is. Because I know football. You know what I'm saying? I know football. So tune in, get some guidance. I'm telling you, I've had guys text me and say, damn, Scotty, like, hey, that's pretty damn good. Like, that's what we was trying to do. That's what we was going to do. So football is not hard. I mean, if you know it, you know it. You know what works against what. Now, can your players execute? That's where it happens. That's where coaching comes in. Can your players execute? All right. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Yeah, this is Tony.
What's your name? Ooh, man, your phone is bad.
Let me pick y'all.
Please and thank you.
All right, man, you can hear me better now.
Ooh, much better.
Yeah, man. I would just want to say, like, Shador, like, he's still a freshman, man. He's doing all this as a freshman, So it's just, people just got to, continue to give him time. He might be up for the Heisman in the next few years, and he for sure going to be a first round pick in the next 2 years, at least a second round. So people want to say this, that, and dirt about Shador, but he's going to be a good player, man. People just got to continue to be patient with him. That's all. I just want to speak on that issue. So.
Hey, hold on.
That's all I got.
No. Wait a cotton picking minute. I'm not about to let you say that foolishness and just jump off the line. That's pretty much trolling. Like, bro, like, let's be real. Like, he's not going to be a first round pick. Like, No, he's not.
Oh, like
nah. No,
okay.
He's not gonna be a first. Heisman, no, negative. Unless you paying the judges, unless you about to pay off all them Heisman voters, you're negative. That's not happening. My thing is this: can he get drafted? Absolutely. I won't say he won't get drafted. I would never say that. But first round, stop the foolishness. Now, this is where, to me, I have to kind of push back is if Shedeur knew he was going to be I get it. A freshman is still a freshman. I get it. So let me ask you a question. When is your expectations? When does the expectation meet the hype? Let me ask you that. When does the expectation meet the hype?
Okay, people got to understand, he's not a redshirt freshman. He's a true freshman. So he comes straight out of high school with this. So look at Eric McNair, the late Steve McNair. You know, he should have won the Heisman when he was at Alcorn. He should have won the Heisman this year. So my thing is, at least by his junior year, because I think I don't think he's going to stay his senior year. So I think no later than his junior year. So he's going to be up there. You know.
Okay, hold on. So that means, so let's be real. Let's be real. So if you're saying he needs to get out by his junior year, that means by his sophomore year, he needs to be putting up some crazy numbers. That's what you're saying. I mean, because listen, no, it's not many. You're not. Let me be very clear, and let me preface this comment. I do not believe that if you have one magical season in the SWAC, that's going to allow you to go like top first or second round. Now he might go fourth or fifth round.
Okay. What round did Eric McNair get drafted? Steve McNair. What round did he get?
He went first round. He went first round.
Okay. So Steve McNair, he came from Mount Olive High School in Mississippi. He didn't have no coaching background. He didn't have a father that was an NFL head coach. This man have a father who's a Hall of Famer.
Dog, shut up. All right. I got you on mute. Shut up. You're just yelling. Shut up. All right. Listen. You're the styles of play don't fit the same narrative. McNair threw for over 3,000. I think they're like 3,500, 4,000 yards, but he was also running for over 700 to 800 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the style of quarterback is not the same. It's not the same. Appreciate the call though.
All right.
Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's happening, man?
What's good? Talk to me. What's your name?
Brett.
What's up, Brett? Talk to me.
B-Rob, though.
B-Rob? What's up, B-Rob?
What's happening, man? Have y'all figured out who the OC is gonna be? Y'all just talking to the
yeah. Hey man, it's a party out here, baby. We just kicking it. We just chilling and talking. We just saying that TC Taylor got demoted from OC. But if you got some insight, we would love to hear it.
Yeah, a little bit, man. I ain't even gonna say too much, man. But he's lighter complexion than the rest of us. I can say that for sure. I can say that for sure.
Hey, so he get it's a white boy. Is it just a white boy?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. He couldn't have got a brother. There wasn't no black men that could be offensive coordinator in the SWAC. That's what we doing. No, I'm just messing around. I'm just messing.
Well, you kind of got to know how Prime like to operate a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's cool. Let me ask you this question. Go ahead.
TC should definitely have that job though. Like,
oh, real? Okay.
That should be it. Yeah, it should be it. I don't think he was given a equal fair opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But he gonna roll with the punches though. He gonna be good.
That's what's up. I respect that. Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Do you think the lighter complexion guy coming in, do you think he is going to be successful? Do you think does he have a track record to be successful? Like from what you know?
That's left to be unseen.
Mm-hmm.
it's probably gonna be more of like a air raid offense too.
Okay.
So that's some.
So I was right. I was right.
I mean, he definitely had the tools to be successful, though.
Facts. That's big facts. That's big facts. Hey man,
yeah, but I don't want to say too much.
No, you
man.
good.
I just wanted to drop off a little nugget. You know what I'm saying? I hang up and just chime in.
Hey, nah, man. Appreciate the call, my boy.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Shout out to Brett for that insider information. He said my boy going to be white. He said the new OC going to be white, guys. All right, so listen, you heard it here first. The new OC is going to be white. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, where's all that energy? Can I get all that same energy from everybody? Oh, we can't get no brother. He can't get no brother in that place. Yeah, I want all that same energy. Keep all that energy. Keep all of it. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Peace and blessings. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, I'm calling from Arkansas. My name is Stiletto.
That's what's up. What's up? Talk to me.
Hey, man, I got a question. Now, you see how the energy of Dion came to an organization and it completely gave it a 180 haircut, turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I kind of see this thing as Jackson being the Alabama of the black HBCUs. Who do you think has the personality that can go to another school and build up and cause competition between those two? And then my second part question is, do you guys think someone like Terrell Owens, if he can just let go of the ideal that he can still play pro, do you think that he can come into an organization and be a good supporting cast if he lets go of, do you think he can still do it? Because after a while, we have to kind of let go of like, man, I can still do it. And then we have to build up the younger. Who do you think, besides Terrell Owen or also think of somebody that can come in, have that energy and build up a organization?
All right, so this is something I figured out when I was in the military, right? First of all, I don't want to, let's not compare Jackson State to Alabama. It's not a good look. But my thing is this, when you're talking about rebuilding an organization, my time in the military, when we used to get like new commanders and new first sergeants, how they carry themselves and their level of expectations that they have for the unit is what made the unit either rise or fall, right? So you can tell, like, people can pick up on phony. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you come in trying to be all hard and stuff like that, and you can read like that, that's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not really who you are. So I think people being genuine to who they are, but also being relatable to kids, I think that helps. And to me, that's the blend that Dion does really well. He has high expectations, but he blends in with, he's so relatable. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you did bring in another superstar, an Ed Reed, a Ray Lewis, a Rod Woodson, like Ray and Ed are going to get it based off their legacy of being in the NFL, but can they be relatable? How do they fit with the kids? Are they going to understand, how the kids like to be on social media and how these things, how they like to do this and do that. So I think getting that personality and getting that across and holding people accountable and having expectations, I think that's how you build a culture. That's how you rebuild a program and build excitement. I think Hugh Jackson can do the same thing, but just in a different way. You know what I'm saying? By holding people accountable, holding himself accountable for his expectation of what he sees the program doing. So I think if you bring in celebrities like that and big names like that, it's how they carry themselves.
Okay, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire.
Go ahead.
And anybody else who want me to hold their feet to the fire. Right now, top three. If you were the man who was responsible, they said, "Hey, man, we coming to you, and we're going to put a great burden on your shoulders." Who would be your top three pick to go into one of these schools and get it to popping?
That's a dope question. That's a dope question. Appreciate that. My first one would be Ed Reed, right? My second one would be Ray Lewis. My third one.
I like that. I like that Ray Lewis pick. Yeah. And you know what? I hope that someone is listening who can go back to him and point a finger at him and throw his feet to the fire and say, get out there and do it.
Yeah, my third one, I would say, this is what I would say. I would say Mike Vick, but Mike Vick would be a figurehead. I think just like he's a black icon. Like Vick is a black icon. I will go Vic or Chad Johnson because of their icon status in the black community. You know what I'm saying? I just think that their personality and their, you know, Vic is for who he was, like he's transcended, and Chad Johnson for his personality. I think they would do a great job of just reinvigorating a program and trying to bring something to it. But at the end of the day, if you ain't getting no wins, that ain't gonna help too much. But hey, man, appreciate the call.
Hey, many blessings to you, man.
You too,
Happy
man.
New Year.
You too, man. Thank you so much. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, bro? I always watch the show, bro. I'm over here in Germany. I always pop up with the show.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, like, and I was in the military. I know you mentioned a few times that you was in the military.
Facts.
But besides the fact, right? So I hear everybody talking about Shadur and all this other stuff. And, you know, that's all good and everything. But at the same thing, he is a freshman. He gonna have growing pains and this and that. And the offensive line, they don't address that. They starting to address that. I ain't gonna say they addressed it. They got to get on the field and play.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. So at the same time, everybody's comparing him to Steve McNair. Stop it. Don't. Shadur's not going to be a first round pick or a second round pick. He might be a fourth round pick.
Hey, don't worry about the TV in the background. You good? Just keep talking to me.
Oh yeah, my bad, bro.
You good?
Yeah, I heard you late. But no, I hear all of this. Shadur a good player, bro. Like, he not finna be a Steve McNair type of player. That's one thing. Number two, they're addressing the issues that they need to address, which will be offensive line and their secondary, because their secondary is horrible. Other than Cam is the only one that's worth a damn in that secondary, literally. Everybody else, hey, y'all need to learn how to cover.
Disagree, but
If
okay.
not, they go each you up. They go eat you up. And then on top of that, I hear everybody saying this, that, and this. Oh, we need to get these celebrities. No, you need to get a coach that can coach. You don't need no celebrity coach. You don't need no Mike Vick. You don't need no Ocho Cinco. You don't need none of these people. You need a coach that can coach. Like, you don't need all that other extraness.
I agree with you to a certain extent. You know, hold on, let me cut you off right there. First of all, let me go back to the secondary.
Yeah, go ahead.
The secondary comment, I wholeheartily disagree. All right, Cam is not the best guy in the secondary. He's not good in coverage. He's he's great in the box. He's awesome in the box. In coverage, he's a liability. I still go with Nugget. I think Nugget has the best blend of cover. And even when Travis Hunter gets there, I still think he's going to be the best corner because of the physicality in which Nugget plays with. But this is where I do agree with you. I absolutely agree with you because a lot of conferences that don't have celebrity coaches are whooping your ass. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act like, you know what I'm saying, like you need a celebrity coach to be great because
like,
there's other
coaches in there that can coach.
Yeah, man.
I agree. Bro, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. Go ahead. You good.
Yeah, like get some coaches in there that can coach. You don't need a celebrity coach to be great at what you do. You don't. Like Dion, he's a great recruiter. He's a great motivator. He's a pretty good coach. But guess what? You only as good as your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, your special teams coach, linebackers. You only as good as those dudes. If they're not doing their job, then what are we doing here?
That's fair. This is my thing though, and I'm gonna go back to, and this is why I keep preaching for celebrity coaches, is because celebrity coaches bring resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like Grambling got these two big as 85 digital boards because Grambling, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody donated that to Grambling because they know who Jackson, you know what I'm saying, is there. So that's what happens when you bring in celebrity coaches. Companies want to be a part of what you're doing. The excitement wants to get revved up. So listen, get what you can when you have these celebrity coaches, but at the same time, it doesn't make them great coaches. You know what I'm saying? So
it don't make them great coaches by any means. Get the resources from them dudes. If they ain't panning out, hey, go on and cut Sling Lord. Don't cut swing low. You know what that means. You military. Cut swing low.
Cut swing
Get the
low.
mugs up out of there.
Yes, sir.
Real quick.
Hey, man.
But I appreciate it, my boy. Hey, I'm in Germany watching you. I always watch the show, bro. I always try to time in. I'm trying to be a member, the European payment services, all that shit, it go crazy.
Hey, no problem, man. But thanks for the support, man. Real talk.
Hey, yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, anytime. All right, got 10 minutes left in the stream. We're going to get up out of here, all right? So make sure you get your calls in. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
Talk to me. What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name Darian. Stay in Houston.
All right, talk to me.
I'm just kind of getting to YouTube and so I don't know if you touched on it, but I wanted to ask because I think them kind of firing the OC after one season, it might be a little bit premature. I would have liked to see them get a look maybe this season, or at least maybe midway through the season, to kind of see like where they at. You know what I mean? With a little bit more talent coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to get your take. Do you think, because we know that they didn't really run much, but do you think that was because of them just trying to, showcase Shador? Or do you think because of the lack of talent on the offensive line, it maybe discouraged them from running as much as maybe they should have?
I think a lot of factors played into this, right? So I'm gonna kind of give you all my factors to why I think they kept the ball in Shador's hand the most, and then why they didn't run the ball. I think one, I agree with Big Mike. They did a lot of inside zone runs, in which wasn't very effective for that team. But every time they did power runs, like pulling and stuff like that, I think it worked. You know what I'm saying? They weren't bad. They didn't do a lot of variation runs, right? They didn't do a lot of jet sweeps. They didn't do a lot of trap blocks. They didn't do a lot of toss sweeps enough, like to the short side or to the bunch side or whatever. Just creative ways, counters. Like, you just got to be creative when running the ball, especially if because there's two styles of blocking, right? You can have a team that just mauls you, like, we just better than you, we gonna push you around. And then you have offensive linemen that are cutoff blockers, right? So you get the defense moving one way because you're gonna go back the other way, and all they have to do is stand in the way between you and the ball carrier. You know what I'm saying? So, or the tackler. So you got to understand what kind of offensive line you have, and the fact that they couldn't figure it out by the end of the season where they could run successfully is a problem. But at the end of the day, I do think the first thing first is that they want the ball in Shador's hand.
Right. Now, what I will say is this, you know what I mean? Because I mean, listen, I think everybody kind of agrees that the O-line coach had to go.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say, I know they didn't emphasize, recruiting these running backs this, cycle. And I know a lot of people seen like the little clips of Quay Davis in practice, and they ready for him to play. But it's this kid that they got at running back that didn't play this season named Donovan Hunt. I think Tyson Alexander coming back, and I think Hunt's gonna play because he was killing them boys in practice. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see them run a whole lot more. I don't know who's gonna be the OC obviously, but that kid Donovan Hunt, that boy looked cold from what I've seen of his clips in practice. So, hopefully we get a little bit more balance. And I think, it's going to be a better looking offense if they get the proper OC. And maybe, I don't know if Dion's going to get in the way. I would hope not. But if, they giving the OC some leeway, we should see a totally different offense this year.
I hopefully, but the one thing about it is, is how, one thing you learn when you're watching football games and in your offensive coordinator and as a defensive coordinator, you always say, how committed are you to doing what you want to do? You get what I'm saying? So if the game plan, granted, let's go back to FAMU in Southeast Louisiana, right? Everybody and their mama knew they had to run the ball, right? So that when you're down 14-0, when you're down 21-0, how committed are you to still going through with your game plan? How committed are you to still running the ball? When it's not being successful with Jackson State, when you're getting 1, 2, 3 yards a pop or not getting it, how committed are you to still running the ball? And that's what you have to figure out with the new OC coming into Jackson State. How committed will you be to continually trying to push the ball, fight the ball, and run the ball down somebody's throat, because you know you need to be able to do that. And a lot of teams, a lot of OCs, once they see it's not being successful like they like it to be, they go away from it, and then they get caught up in passing the ball.
Yeah, and I think that's, you know what I mean? I agree with you on that, but I feel like with the receiving room that they got, it will be so beneficial, you know what I mean, you know, for them to try to emphasize so they can do more play actions and stuff like that. Because, I mean, you do a play action with Coleman in the slot, or, you know what I mean? I mean, like, you know, it's you know, I mean, it's going to be hard for a lot of teams to, you know, cover that if they kind of emphasize the run or establish the run the way they should. So, I mean, it's be interesting to see, but there's too much talent in that wide receiver room to just, I wouldn't want to see an air raid, me personally, for the simple fact, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you can really, like, a balanced attack with that receiving core would kind of tear holes in a whole lot of those swag defenses. Because, you know what I mean, they got a lot of speed coming in.
But once again, this is my point. If I was a defensive coordinator, why would I go for a play action? Why? You know, like, you can't run on me with 4. Why would I would never tell my, like, it's kind of, I wouldn't say never, but it's hard for me. If I'm a defensive coordinator going against Jackson State, I would tell my linebackers, don't step up. Don't step up. Like, until you see the ball in the running back's hands, don't step up, because you know what they want to do. They want to throw the ball. That's the part where, to me, is like, or how committed to you are running the ball, because PV showed you the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? I'll drop 8. I'll keep 3. I'll drop 7. I'll leave 4. And if you can't push my 4 around, I don't need my linebackers to step up until they can read the lanes. So once again, you might want them to, but if it's not successful, that play action don't work. Play action is pointless if you don't run the ball. Yeah, so it's just things like that. But hey, man, appreciate the call.
I definitely agree. I agree with you. Appreciate it, though.
Hey, man, thank you so much. Hey, this is the last caller. Hey, caller, you live, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, man? This is interesting. I mean, I don't have the problem with it. But I think it's one of the things where, you know, everybody else is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they want to swag, they want to get better. I mean, they average probably 20-something points a game, probably almost 30. I believe, and Deion probably believes, that they should be averaging 40 with the talent they have.
Facts.
So, and also the buck stops with him. You know, Nick Saban just lost to Georgia. They didn't blame Bill O'Brien. They blamed Nick Saban. So, win or loss, the buck stops with Deion, and he knows that. I like your suggestion about the air raid on the West Coast system. I like the West Coast system. Putting the ball in Shador isn't a bad decision, because he's probably one of the best quarterbacks in the SWAC, and you've seen the quarterback play in the SWAC. It's hard to find somebody that's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find somebody that can miss all the throws. So, I mean, if you got a quarterback who could do all that, why wouldn't you put it in his hands?
Gotcha.
Unless you got Derrick Henry. I mean, we see Garoppolo. They don't put the ball in his hands at all. So I'm interested to see who they bring in, but I believe their O-line should be a lot better. That should help a lot of things. That should help the running game and all that. But I'm interested to see who they bring on, and I believe it's going to come all down to trust. You know, if Deion trusts them to let him do him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, the trust that he has in DT, you know, he probably has the most trust in DT. You know what I'm saying? To run whatever
I
defense he
100%
wants.
agree with you. 100% agree with you.
You know, so to me, that's what it comes down to, because, you know, I mean, I don't know I know who's the OC at FAM, but I wonder who calls plays. You know, that's a difference. You know, I
That's
wonder
fair.
if Willie still calls plays,
That's fair.
or if KJ Black is calling plays.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair. That's fair.
So that trust, we know Dion's not going to be calling no offensive plays, so the trust is going to be big. But it's a good conversation. I'm interested to see what they do and everything.
Hey, man, appreciate the call, Dre.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man. All right, call lines are shut down. All right, so I'm gonna get my final synopsis, but real quick, make sure you like the stream. All right, stop playing. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. You already know it helps me with the algorithm. For all the haters that don't want to see me, they can keep seeing me. For all the people who love the show, thank you for loving the show. All right. Also, tomorrow, 7:00. All right. Dominique Rogers-Camardi will be live here in effect on the channel. All right. 7:00 tomorrow. All right. Dominique Rogers-Camardi, Tennessee State alum and 2-time NFL Pro Bowler. All right. He will be in the building. Make sure you tune in here. Live interview. Okay. You know how I do. Ain't nobody do it bigger than me except Blue. Blue be cheating. But Blue be cheating though. Blue be cheating. All right. So that's my man's though. That's my guy. All right. So listen, this is my synopsis of this, right? I'm gonna say this. All right. Make sure you like the stream. The standard for next year has to be high, but at the same time, it has to be realistic, right? I don't believe that overnight. I think oh my gosh, man, this is tough. This is tough. You just got to get it right. I don't care. Like listen, you just got to get it right. You got to get it right. You got to get this pick right. You got to get this choice right because you've been going through offensive coordinators like people go through underwear. Okay. So, hey, thank you, Urban Network. Become a member. It helps the show. Thank you so much. All right. You've been going through OCs like you're going through underwear. You got to get it together. All right. You got to get it together. You got to lock into something because what you don't want, and this is the biggest thing, you don't want 3 offensive coordinators for 3 years of Shador's 3 years of Shador's tenure. That's what you don't want. You want him to get a system. You want him to know the system, and you want him to know the system so well that it's in the back of his hand, he just knows it. He can control it. He can run it. That type of situation, and that's why to me you got to get this hire right. You got to get it on going forward for the team and going forward for Shador. So shout out to TC Taylor. I think you're an amazing offensive coordinator. I watched your stuff back at North Carolina Central. I think you're freaking amazing. I really believe if you would have had all the pieces that you needed, you could have done some real damage with that team. If you would have had a Jalen Jones, if you would have had a Jalen Jones, and the people gonna be like, what? Nah, real spill. If you would have had a Jalen Jones, I think your offense would have been more dynamic because of the way you run your offense with the RPOs and with that system. So I think it would have been really, really dynamic. Now, do I think you would have went undefeated in the SWAC? Probably not, but you probably would have won the SWAC regardless. But I do think it would have been more dynamic of the team. It would have been more balanced, but it is what it is. But hey guys, listen, appreciate you guys for tuning in with me. Real talk off script. Appreciate you guys for tuning in with me. Hey, make sure you like the stream before you get up out of here. Any other announcements, babe? You got? Huh? Oh, January 24th, bandwagon signing day. All right, we still getting packages. We still loving it. All right, thank you so much. You know, it's coming down to the wire. It is coming down to the wire. All right. So listen, real talk. I tried to hit Coach TC Taylor up on Facebook. We're actually Facebook friends. He saw my message because we all know you can see Facebook messages. He saw my message and didn't respond to me. So that let me know he's not, he wasn't on board. But maybe later, maybe some other time. But until next time, guys, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.